Hello, all, and thank you so much for joining me today on my talk at the AI Week 2025 that's powered by digital leaders. And my talk today is about the new creative process where blends human and AI. And my question is, are we stronger together? So, for you who have never haven't met me yet, my name is Candyce Costa, and I'm the founder and CEO of Make AI Easy. I've spent the last 20 years building my career in the sales and the marketing. I'm a specialist in the B2B and have been helping business to take complex solutions and turn them into great content that actually get high ROI results. Today, we are talking about the latest revolution in our field that it is AI. So let's get started. So very quickly, I wanted to have a quick review in the last decade where we marketers have been chasing efficiency, personalization, and scale. And by for the same time, we have been hearing a lot about the death of the originality, the creativity. We don't know what is coming, and but also we have been hit with this storm of automation in our work. So which it makes our tasks and our daily routine a little bit faster. However, right now, this process is changing very, very, very quickly. So, in the last decade, we have been chasing efficiency, personalization, and scale. And but in a way, we have this new revolution that is happening right now that we call AI or artificial intelligence. And in a way, I want to talk about what I think is one of the biggest marketing advantages that we having at the moment. So that it's, of course, it's not a new platform, it's not a new algorithm, it's not a new or ways of automate something. But I see AI as like a partnership, like a new way of where we are going to blending our human intuition with the AI capabilities, and what I call the augmented marketer. Uh, in that union between us, the humans, and the artificial intelligence, it it is not about replacement, but is about amplification of our work, amplification of our talent, amplification of our creativity. So for me, the question it is not if AI can create, but the question is if we humans that work with a strategy, that we create those strategies with emotion, with originality, we can become stronger when we partner with a machine. So are we stronger? And my answer, spoiler alert, is yes, you know. And in this next 25 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm focusing in the three massive benefits and three immediately actionable hot tips that you can implement in your creative process. So, really quickly, let's define what this partnership is actually looks like. And the first thing that I want to say it is it's not about handing over to a bot. This is not gonna happen. So, in my opinion, I think it's about leveraging the two fundamentally different but complementary skill sets. In one side we have us, the humans, and the other side we have AI, the machine. And what do we bring? We bring the emotional intelligence. to the table. So we're gonna bring the marketing empathy. We're gonna have our, implement having our gut instinct. We are going to have our strategic vision. Because we humans, we understand the nuance, we understand the humor, we understand the cultural context, we have our critical thinking, and in a way, this is the answers for why people buy. Okay, so we always hear people buy from people. So this is the point for what I think it's what the human brings to the table. And in the other side, we have the machine, we have AI. And then what AI brings to the table is the analytical muscles and the relentless capacity for interaction. So you can have scale and speed. You can have data that could be analyzed quicker than any way before. So it's almost like magic. And the whole of the executions as well, where we have hundreds of repetitive and technical demanding tasks that can be done by the AI. So, and then what we want to talk about it's about how this matters for why this matters for our business. So, and for me, from the 3 points that are non-negotiable, it is the velocity and agility, precision and personalization, breakthroughs and innovation. So these are the, for me, is the three non-negotiable benefits of adopting this augmented marketer model. Our In the marketing world, we, especially in social media, speed is a currency. So what we have is a market landscape that is very competitive. With the platform algorithm is changing almost every single day, and most of the times, our creative process could take 2 to 3 weeks. So, if you're gonna look on that, our content is already stale. So we have, uh, in a way, we have comparing with the speed that we have with AI, we were like it's wasting 2 to 3 weeks to generate content that nowadays we can generate in much less time of that, and that makes everything, as I said, with the pace extremely fast. So for me, the three core benefits for AI is the velocity and agility that is we are capable now, the precision and personalization that is extremely important if you work, especially with the B2B market, and the breakthroughs and innovation that is always necessary. So we're going to talk a little bit more about all of that, and we're going to start with velocity and volume. So I want you to consider, for example, LinkedIn campaign. So before AI, what was our routine? Usually we are going to test three core headlines, two different visuals, and let's say three call to actions. Three primary call to actions. So just that, we already have 18 combinations. So with AI, when you feed your core messaging and your strategic goal, you can ask, for example, to generate 10 headlines, focus on pain points, 10 headlines, focus on immediately gain, 10 versions of the body copy, shifting tone from professional to provocative, and of course, in the end, we are going to have uh, in a almost magical time the results that you can select between these powerful options that has been the output from the AI. So when you look at to your daily routine of creating content, for example, AI can turn 5 hours of writing tasks in half an hour selection task So when AI gives you 50 combinations to test, is when you can have this time for select which are the best, which is resonate or aligned more with which with our whatever is your goal in that specific piece. So in here, the core benefit is the agility. So you can launch and learn using real world data. You can generate variants based on these learnings to deploy the whole update in the same single day, so in the same week. So when you implement this information and you can start generating campaigns, those leads are going to have a faster optimization and usually much higher return of investment. So because we always have to count with the time that we spend in each task. So just there you can have this rapid idea generation with the efficient testing agility coming together to give you speed and volume in the end of your day. So, for the second point, we are talking about the hyper precision personalization. So, it's when you have to deal with one of the biggest struggles in marketing nowadays, that is the gap in between mass messaging and the need of a one-to-one personalization. And usually we can have AI to come into this spot to solve the situation, to solve the problems. So, because in the past, personalization always meant swapping for names in an email template, and then you try to matching the narrative of that individual prospect or the target industry that you are working. So to match that narrative with that specific target. And when, for example, when you think about cybersecurity solutions, uh, or like the human write the core content, and then you have the AI to draft the introductory paragraph that focus on that is specific compliance that you want to use, for that information specifically for that specific threat, for example, cybersecurity. Another example, probably fintech CTO that use AI automatically to restructure the introductions of to focus on regulatory compliance, zero trust, and the cost of downtime. So all of this core message is going to remain consistent. So this is the contribution from the human being. But again, using AI as an assistant, as a partner, AI will instantly tailor the framing and the context as well. So this is when we talk about the hyper precision of the personalization. It's not just being efficient, but it's about the conversion, like the results that we can have with this high conversion in the end of that uh, 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 circle cycle. When a prospect sees content that directly address their specific industry unique pain point, that connection, that trust become instantaneous. So the trust comes immediately because it's when the message is very clear and talk specific to that target audience. So the third point for me that it is the most excited, in my opinion, is that the breakthrough creativity that is unleashed. I have heard a lot, many people worrying and saying about that AI will make us sound the same. I do not believe in that. I think AI allows the true human ideas become faster. Become you can realize them faster, and I think also that AI could be this creative partner that we can brainstorm faster and easier. Like, for example, sometimes you're stuck in an idea and you need a fresh angle for example, for that white paper that you're writing, you know, or you need a different or a new approach from a trade piece of article that you need to post in a blog in a week. So lots of the time, you need another human being to get that brainstorm time with you. With AI, you can have that partner without um, a need to, having someone with you all the time, or an assistant, or someone that needs to give you some technical feedback. Sometimes you call when you have to ask. For me, personally is really difficult because I always think that I'm disturbing, because lots of my friends, they are very busy, so they don't have time to take like half an hour or an hour to help me brainstorm or review my white paper of 50 pages. So usually you can use AI for that. Um, you use AI in that specific partnership, different perspective, different insights. Usually, for example, I do a prompt, generate 20 ideas that violate these three core assumptions. So, uh, or suggest five creative concepts based on metaphors from the nature, something like that. It's things that we you will help you, like when you prompt, you give you a results that are going to spark your creativity. So ideas that probably you never had before. Sometimes the output could be something nonsensical, could be something terrible that you're never gonna use, like, because it's completely like it's not what you're looking for. But most of the times you have one or two that actually are very interesting concept that you never have thought on your own. So in our in the AI new world, our role is no longer to generate 100 options, but is to try to understand what we are really looking for, what are going to be that message or that goal that you are chasing. And then we move from this work of being content producers and to become creative editors or strategic curators. So, freeing you from for me, one of the most valuable resources that is our brain, so we can focus on our vision instead of our vocabulary or grammar mistakes. Okay, so let's move, and let me give you three tips for your AI collaboration. The first one is what I call 10 times prompt rule. So, usually when you create a prompt, you can just say, write a blog about our new product, etc. Uh, this is one time prompt that gives you one time result. So, usually it's very generic. If you want to use the 10 times prompting rule, this is when you become detailed, role specific, and constraint heavy. So you are going to get out what you put in. For example, in my work, my line of work usually is a B2B prompt. I will include a role, a goal, an audience, constraints, and format. And why of that? Because then that give us the whole different way of prompting that, again, as I said before, the results are going to have much more quality because the input, the question, are much more detailed. So that gives you the results that has more quality, and then that is going to be easier for you to find um, the like more out information results that are going to align what you're looking what you need for your blog, for your white paper, for your campaign, whatever you're using, advertising. So that information from the prompt makes your the results much easier and of course faster, and you just need to put the human work on top of that. So for the second is what I call pilot and scale workflow. So that is, we have to think that AI is not a solution that you flip in your entire market department overnight and then you just hope for the best. When you're starting working with AI, you must adopt a pilot and scale methodology. So usually it's interesting to do in three phases. The first one is the pilot, where you choose one specific repetitive low risk task. For example, let's say generating 5 variations of social media captions for a single pre-written blog post, summarizing long-form analytical reports into bullet points for a sales team brief. So, in the second step, in the second phase, you're going to measure and refine. So, set clear metrics. For example, did the AI generate captions get a higher click-through rate than the human ones? Or, for example, did the sales team find the AI summaries useful? If the tool helps a human complete a task 50% faster, let's say, it is a success. So this is how you measure and refine in the second phase. In the third phase, it will be the scale. So once you prove the benefits and train your team on the right prompts, then you integrate into a larger workflow. For example, generating content outlines or drafting personalized sales email sequences. So the pilot and scale workflow is when you go from the phase one to the phase three, what you have, and you understand how those moves are going to be really smart, because we always start from small, and then we prove the return of investment, and then we go to scale the workflow. The last one, it is the ethical checkpoint. So the ethical checkpoint is always very interesting, and for me, it's a must-have step, especially because AI hallucinate all the time. You know, so a lot of the when you talk about marketing, usually it for me it's a non-negotiable. It's that the brand needs to be trust. So people needs to trust them before they buy. So every single piece of AI generated creative should pass in the ethical checkpoint that has been run by a human being. So usually, so in the companies that I work and with my work, we go for three questions before we publish. First one, it is based on the accuracy and compliancy. That is the data claim 100% correct? The second one is the brand voice. Does this sound like us? Does this uphold our values and tone, or is too generic? And the last one is the inclusivity and bias. The question that I ask is, this content is free of accidental bias or inappropriate cultural context. So every time I ask those questions before uploading or hit the send button in any piece of content that has been generated by AI. For me, the goal is to move fast, but without forgetting our ethics. So the human must always sign off the authenticity and integrity of the output. That will build a rapport, will build trust with your target audience, will bring the information that is accurate and reliable, and makes, of course, also the point where we have inclusivity and bias behaving without AI behaving in a way that we don't want to. So, so let's go back to the question that was in the beginning of our talk. Are we stronger together? Yes, in my opinion, yes. I think the future of marketing belongs to the augmented marketers that will refuse choose between efficiency and creativity. They will choose both. And the old creative process where we have 100% being created by humans, and only but only that 100% has been innovative, goes will move to this new creative process that is where we have AI handle 80% of the heavy lifting and allowing us to focus 100% on strategy, emotion, and originality. So where we combining the old creative process and forget about having the this heavy lifting of taking time to create content. Right now, we are uh, looking for more and more companies working and implementing AI on their strategies, and in marketing and science has been very much to departments that have worked very successfully implementing AI in AI automations. So my big suggestions here and my big advice as well is don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to demand more from your tools. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, but always remember that AI does the heavy lifting, and we humans, we take the originality, we take the creativity, we take the emotion side of our content. That is, for me, the next step on marketing in sales as well, where we have we as humans, we have more time to be creative, we have more time to make unbelievable creative piece of content, advertising, branding, images as well. So, and yeah, it comes to stay. I don't think we are going back to a place where we don't have AI as a partner. So before I finish, I just want to say embrace our creativity in future. So that's not going to make you less creative or less professional as well. So using and learning how to use AI is not going to make you not professional. So it's going to put you in a level that more and more companies are looking for. So just before we go, I wanted to remind you that you can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Candyce Costa. You can search for Candyce Costa or Make AI Easy. So we have programs, we have courses, we have ebooks for corporate entrepreneurs and digital creators. We also offer programs for corporate companies that are interested in exploring on their sales and marketing teams how to implement and how to incorporate AI on their daily tasks. So find me, and you also can go to the website AI Week 2025 and find me all or find all the contact details. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening to me. And if you have any questions, just send a request to connect on LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to book a session with you. Thank you, and see you soon, very soon.